Hi, everyone. This is Miriam with Only For You. And sorry we came on a little late today, but we know this is going to be a fantastic show. We have no doubt about it. So, this is a sister's heart only for you. And like I say, it's not for me, it's only for you. And today we have on our show the beautiful, the gorgeous, the vivacious Miss Larenda Raiford, who is going to be so transparent on today. And she's going to tell us a story and going to let us in on her journey to where she is today. So we're going to allow, the people as they continue to come in, and we just want you to come in. We want to say hi to you and thank you for joining us and letting us know that you are here. And so as we let them come on in, and we're a little, not the same one we were today, but we are going to have some really open dialogue, and we want you to be involved with what we're talking about today. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to just let Larenda just say hi to us, and just tell us a little bit about who she is.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well today. As Miriam has stated, my name is Larenda Raiford. I am a wife to Andre Raiford, a mother to Ayani Raiford. I'm a daughter. I'm a sister, and I'm a friend to many. Today's topic is dear and near to me, only because it really does depict who I am as a person. So I'm excited about what we're going to discuss and what we're going to share with you all on today.
Okay, good. And me and Larenda had discussed this, and she started out saying what many of us say, and my sister and I discuss this all the time. She's a wife, she's a mother, she has all these titles. And how many of you out there have, when somebody say, well, who are you? And the first thing you say is, I'm a wife, I'm a mother. I always said this anyway, I'm a wife, a mother, and all of this. And how many of us have done that? So, but today she's going to really just tell us her journey and who she is. So let's just start off with telling us about your story. What about your journey? Before journey.
My journey started, my journey started, I would say a few years ago. However, because of life, I wasn't really able to really explore what it was that I wanted to do. As many of you know, my husband got sick, so that put me on the sidelines where I had to take care of him and not so much neglect me, but I had to put my wants and desires to the side so that I could get him back to being 100% whole. And after doing that, then life started over again. You start working, you start church, and you work, home, church, wife, mom, work, home, church, life, mom. So I kind of lost myself in that hustle and bustle of life, to the point that I actually had started to get sick. And in getting sick, I was sicker than what I even knew I was. Every day I was in pain. Every day I didn't feel good. And so with that, I had to start making some decisions that were about me and putting me first. I didn't realize until I started making those decisions of how broken I was on the inside. The low self-esteem, low confidence. I didn't like to shop. Everybody that knows me, all my friends know that my husband did all the shopping, because I just didn't like to. I didn't like doing any of that. So with starting this journey, I really started to do some soul searching about me and who I was, separating myself from being Jermaine's wife and Ayani's mom to just being Larenda. And, with that, with every discovery, everything that you do, there are some things that you like about yourself, and then there are some things that you don't necessarily like about yourself. And you have to be willing to tackle those things that you don't like about yourself so that you can start fixing that piece. And I don't want to say fix, but maybe kind of evolve in those areas. Because every aspect makes us who we are.
True.
So, with doing all of that, I decided that I needed to start making some decisions that were just about me, about my body, about my health, about my mind, about my soul, so that I could be a whole person. It's nothing worse than being a part of something and you're broken, so you can't bring your whole self to the table. So I wanted to be a whole person, not just for me, but also for my family.
Good. And like you were saying, you had to be a whole person for yourself, and that's the most important thing. Now, I'm just going to jump in here and say that at the time, being whatever size you are is fine, but it has to be whatever size you are that you are comfortable with. So could I ask you, I know too personal, could I ask you, what was your weight prior to today? Would you like to say that?
I am willing to say it. I shouted from the mountaintops because most people say, no, you weren't that big. But when I started this journey, I was 275 pounds. On July the 20th of 2019, I was 275 pounds. Even the doctors was like, you don't look like 275 pounds. You wear your weight well. You cover it well, so, and today, you want me to go that far? Or you want
let's just
tell what I am now?
Yeah, just go and tell us where you are now.
I am today 165 pounds. So I am about 20 pounds from my goal weight. And I'm excited. Like, I feel great. I probably feel better now than what I felt when I was in my 20s.
Okay.
I'm able to do more. I'm able, if you've never been through struggling with your weight, then you never really can understand what a person means or how they feel. Being heavier, although, and Miriam, you and I talked about this, and you said, well, you always were pretty to me, and you always, dressed nice or whatever. And I, in the back of my mind, knew when I walked out the house that I looked nice to other people, feel nice to myself.
Yeah.
I was always so self-conscious about my size. I was self-conscious about eating in front of people. I was self-conscious, just that whole low self-esteem about it. And that's why I shied away from shopping, because I didn't like having to go in the stores and, be with a group of people and they're going in this section and I have to go over here by myself in this section because that's where my size is. And, for me, it kind of dampened my self-esteem a lot. Almost to the point that I felt like I didn't have a voice anymore. Like I just had to do the hustle and bustle. And so when I started this journey last year and I started really trying to define what I needed to do for me, of course, originally it started out about losing weight.
Right.
It was about, I need to lose some weight. And I need to do about whatever is necessary.
But Larenda, it really is, we always try to fix the outside first. And when you try to fix the outside first, like you're saying, so because we want everybody to know it's not just about weight, it's about whatever it is that you're struggling with. And you always try to fix that, what you can actually see first, but you found out that inner was more.
Right. It was so much more important, Miriam. With losing the weight and understanding that piece of it, I also understood that there was a inner healing that I needed. It wasn't about me being attached to any person or, being somebody's wife or being somebody's mother. It was just about me knowing that I was broken. And with me being broken, I get emotional when I think about it. With me being broken, I couldn't be the best mom that I needed to be. And I couldn't be the best wife that I needed to be. And I think that so often, in our world, the church world, the misconception is that we go to church, we lift our hands, we give God praise, we shout, we holler, we speak in tongues, but are we really free?
Exactly.
Have we really been delivered from what ails us on the inside? And I can say for myself, with being a pastor's daughter and being in church all my life, I knew all the right things to say and the right things to do. And, when the organ hit this, we just know what to do when we've been in church for a long time. But that does not mean that we're free.
True.
That didn't mean that I was walking or living in the purpose that God really intended for me to have. I had hid myself in the background of being a wife, of being a mom, to the point that I lost who I was. I lost my individuality. I lost my call of what my individual purpose is as a woman. And so with doing this journey and having the downtime, a lot of this came to me during my recovery process. And in the downtime when
wait a minute, recovery process. So are you talking about you did something in addition to losing the weight? Because you're talking about recovery. Do you want to talk about that?
I did. So I took the option or took the path of having gastric bypass surgery. And a lot of people say that that's the easy way out. That's a misconception as well, because it isn't easy. There are a lot of things that you have to go through before you get to the surgery day. You have to, see a psychiatrist to see if you're mentally capable of even enduring this process. There are numerous doctor's appointments that you have to go through, that they put your body through so many different rigorous testing to see if you can endure it. For me, fortunately, everything came back where I was mentally stable enough to handle it, and my body was physically stable enough to handle it. Now, let me stop there. With my body, with all the testing, I didn't have high blood pressure. I didn't have diabetes. Or any major ailment that will cause a doctor to say, well, maybe we shouldn't do this. However, once I went into surgery, which was on October the 10th of 2019, so almost a year ago, the surgery was only supposed to take 45 minutes. My surgery ended up, I believe they told me, was almost 2 hours.
Wow.
Because once they got on the inside of me, what the doctor said to me the day after was that I was sicker on the inside than what they even knew. My liver had issues with it, so they had to repair the issues that was with my liver. And he said that they had to do a biopsy and all, they took a piece of my liver to do a biopsy. What he told me was that I was on my way to, even though I didn't have diabetes, I was on my way to being a full diabetic. And there wasn't going to be any signs of it. He said the way my insides was that I probably would have fell out somewhere, would have been rushed to the hospital, and would have immediately started me on insulin. His exact words to me was, this surgery saved your life.
Wow.
So laying in the hospital the next day after surgery, after a major surgery, and for a doctor to say the surgery saved my life.
Wow.
When I tell you the tears that began to flow down my face wasn't about me losing weight anymore. It wasn't about that anymore. It was about my life being saved. and about God giving me another chance
Yes.
to do what I need to do for him. So this journey is not just about me getting healthy.
Yes.
It's about me also sharing with others the need to be healthy.
Exactly.
And so I'm grateful and I'm thankful to God that I did it at the time that I did, because I might not have the results that I have today had I waited any longer to do it.
Yeah, because God always orders our steps, and we're thinking we're doing it for one reason. And in actuality, we're doing it for his glory and for something that he has for us to do down the road. Like I said, everybody has a journey. And as we go down this journey called life, we come to many obstacles. And one thing that I was thinking that you said that sparked my attention, a lot of times people have a tendency to weigh in on it like, oh, you shouldn't have that. I'm sure you discussed it with people that said, before you did it. And I'm sure some of them gave you every reason not to, but because you had a mind and because you were led by God, you did something that you said save your life. What do you say to people when you have something that you know God has given you to do or something that you know you need to do? What do you say to them when they give you the opposite? What did you say to them? How did you react?
Well, actually, I didn't share with a lot of people because of that. Because I didn't want to hear the negativity. I knew what I had to do for me. I knew that nobody can measure how you feel. I knew that every single day I woke up feeling horrible. I knew that there were days that I would wake up and I couldn't move, I couldn't walk. There was one incident where I got up, I was able to get downstairs, Jermaine and I was talking, and then in the middle of the conversation, tears was just coming down my face, and he was like, "What's wrong?" I couldn't move my legs. My legs would not move. So of course he rushed me to the ER. There was nothing defined as to why my legs wouldn't move till I went to the specialist, and they said I got osteoarthritis, and that's a side effect from the osteoarthritis. So I was in a lot of pain a lot of days, and I kept going. I pushed beyond the pain because I couldn't stop. I'm a mom. I'm a wife. I have to work. I can't stop.
You hit on something now, because as women, and we need to stop this, we can be in pain, we can have headaches galore, but we're going to push through instead of seeking out help. Nobody wants to seek out, because first thing you say, I'm a mom. I got to get this there. If I don't do it, who's going to do it? If you're gone, who's going to do it? Self-care is important.
Absolutely. It's so important, Miriam. And, so for me, doing the surgery, it doesn't work out for everyone the same way. My story, I feel, is a success story where you have others that struggle more with the surgery and the side effects of the surgery. I chose to do what the doctor said do. So if they said don't, I didn't. If they said I could, I would try it. But if I didn't feel like I could, I waited, So there's a lot of areas to it that you have to know your body. And like I was saying earlier, in the recovery process, I also took that time to start healing from within. Like you said, as women, we endure a lot. And there were some things in my life that I thought I had gotten over, and I thought that I had worked through. And then I found out that I really hadn't, worked through it. I really was not where I thought I was, spiritually, mentally, emotionally. It was just, I had life happening. So I never took the moment to step back, to really allow myself to go through what I call a true healing process.
Exactly.
And it started from within. Yes, I had wounds from the surgery that was healing, but I also had wounds in my heart that was healing.
Yeah.
And being able to just be here alone. Jermaine was at work, Ayani was at school. I had the time to really get my relationship with God back to where it needed to be. Now, I'm not going to tell anybody it's easy, because it isn't. We all fail daily. Nobody's perfect. I've messed up, even in this process, but I've repented quickly and was like, God, you have to help me with this, because I'm not perfect. I'm striving to see you. My end goal is to make heaven my home. So I don't want to have anything in the way of that. So, just being able to go through this and just to be able to define who I am now,
right,
it's amazing. It's just so, like, I'm so excited about about what's happening.
You've always had this beautiful spirit. You always had the wonderful smile, but now it seems like it's just exuding from within a little bit more. And, we can see it, because when I talk to you on the phone, it's like a difference. And I'm going like, wow. And it's inspirational to those who are listening. And it's inspirational to those who are on the air with us today. And you can just see the comments that's coming in and how they can relate to what you're saying, and how I can even relate to what you're saying, because right now it's like we're reinventing ourselves. It's like we're still us, but we're a better us. So we never want to get from who we are. So we're still us, but we're a really much better us. And so with us being that, we're able to help people a little bit more. They're able to get more from us. And so now let's talk about this new Larenda. Let's talk about, what do we see? What do you see? What are you going to do?
Like, I think I said this to you the other day when we were talking, and I sent you the pictures and you were like, wow. And I said, when I get that response, it encourages me to keep going, because I still don't see what others see. I still don't see the smaller version of me. I see a different version of me, but I'm still struggling with who I am. And that's just honest. Like, I'm still trying to figure her out. I will say that my confidence level has changed tremendously. My esteem level has changed tremendously. I feel like I'm on an upward motion. I made a conscious decision to not worry about what other people think. Like, that was one of my biggest problems. Like, I would worry about what people thought of me. And now I'm at a place where I don't worry about what people think of me. I worry about what God thinks of me. I worry about what I think of myself. And so if it's anything that doesn't make me happy or doesn't add value to my life, I've made a decision to let it go. That could be jobs, that could be whatever. It could be relationships. And sometimes there are some relationships that were just for a season. And now you have to learn that I have to grow past that, because that person isn't going the way that I'm going. They're not growing the way that I'm growing. So some of my associates or friends that I was once talking to, I didn't like kick them to the curb. I still talk to them, but I don't talk to them as often, because our conversations are different. And I can't afford to let anybody in that space anymore that brings that negativity or that negative energy, where they're not being positive, or they're not looking at the glass as being half full instead of it being half empty. I get it that life happens. It happens to us all, but I'm just choosing to look at it differently now. And when I tell you, like, the joy that I have now and the excitement that I have about life now, it's just totally different than what it was before. Even, with with my family, we're starting to do more things together. You know, simple tasks. It's just exercising together.
That's right,
It's
right.
it's just bringing that unity when now everybody is like, hey, well, we not gonna let her do it by herself. Even my baby girl is like, I need the tires on my bike fixed because we got to get out here. So it's with just me changing and
Mm-hmm.
me doing things different, it's causing them to do things different. And I'm
Exactly.
excited about
That's good. And what you said is like when you have that light and that energy, it transcends to somebody else. And that's what it's all about. You're encouraging somebody else today with your testimony. You're encouraging somebody else today with your words. And so that person in turn is going to pay it forward. So what you have done is to create I call it what you call those little domino effects, that you've done it and then it's going to affect the other and the other and the other, and we can actually see it on your, and everybody is just like on here is just talking how inspired they are because you had the courage. A lot of people don't have the courage to say, this is what I did and I came through it, and so can you. And they hold it in, but you are not like that. And I think that's where your ministry is, because you're so transparent, you're so open, so jovial, that it's actually going to help somebody else. And I cannot wait to see what's next for Larenda. The journey you're on is amazing. The journey you're on is fantastic. It's touching everybody's, it's touching others' lives. And I'm sure it's making a difference in your home. And now your daughter has another example to go by, to see, to live up to, because of what her mother has done and her mother is doing. Time has gone by so quick. Oh my goodness, 30 minutes is up. I mean, I don't even get to do my word for the day, but if I was going to do a word for the day, I think the word would be to drive. And I say drive because when you're driving, you're in motion. And when you're in motion, you're driving. And I want to say drive forward. And to continue to drive forward on your journey, continue to keep going forward. So my word for the day will be drive. Don't drive like a maniac, like somebody say I drive like, but drive forward and know that God is with you as you drive. So my word for the day, and you take it for the entire rest of this week, is to drive, and move forward. So now we're going to come back at the end with Larenda, but we have every week we give out $25. And this week I was given $25 by another amazing person. So we're going to have production to come, and she's going to spin the wheel. And as we're talking now, continue to give put your cash apps in, because next week we'll be giving away another $25. And if anybody wants to donate $25 to give out to a Sister's Heart, you can be happy to do so. We're so glad to have Angela Preston on the line with us, Roger Winston, Veronica is on the line with us, Tamara is on the line with us, Annie is on the line with us, Naomi, how are you? Elise, how are you? Dwayne, how are you? Carol, Katina, Pam, all of these people on the line with us, and we are so grateful, so thankful that you took time out only for you. So now we're getting ready to choose our winner for this week. And we have our trusty production assistant, and she's going to choose the name out today. And they always get it the same day. Let's see who is it today. And today we have Diva 7778. Whoever that is, Diva 7778. And we're so happy. We'll be giving you your $25. And we thank God for the person who donated it this week. It always goes, and I always think that whoever gets it, I believe they needed it. And if they did not need it, they're going to pay it forward and give it to somebody else. So that's what it's all about. Encouragement, and encouraging someone else. Larenda, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for being so transparent. Thank you for helping us today. Thank you for giving us those words of wisdom and nuggets that you've given us. And until next week, all we want to say is it's not for us. It's only for you. And like we say every week, you need to be great, you need to do great, and you need to live great. Only for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and goodbye until next week.